Hello doctors, today we will learn about the homeostasis concept, which is very important concept from the physiology chapters. So what is the concept of homeostasis? Homeostasis is referred to maintenance of constant internal environment of the body. For example, our blood sugar level or temperature level, how it's maintained? It's maintained by homeostasis mechanisms. Let's discuss about more. That is, it's notified by the Claude Bernard scientist, and it's also called as milieu interior. Next, we will see the components of the homeostasis. Homeostatic system includes three components. First is sensor, also called as detectors or receptors. Second is control center or integrator center, and third is effectors. Then we will discuss about the sensors in detail. Sensors recognize a deviation in any activity in internal environment and transmit the message to control center. If there is any osmoreceptors are there because of the diuresis, then that are the sensors of our body. Then the control center. Control center receives the message from receptors and immediately sends command to the concerned effectors. It may be our hypothalamus, pituitary gland, or our brain or spinal cord, etc. Effector receives the commands from the center and either accelerate or inhibit the activity so that normalcy is restored. Next, the mechanism of action of the homeostatic system. How it occurs? Let's see. Some deviation is there occur. Some temperature is high in our body or low blood glucose or anything deviation in internal environment. So sensors can be detected. Then sensors send it to the control center like brain, spinal cord or hypothalamus. Then it sends to the effector. Then effector may be inhibit the action or accelerate the action, and correction will occur, and finally normally condition is finalized. Then homeostatic mechanism in the body is responsible for the maintaining normalcy of the various body systems, CVS, digestion or respiration, etc. Whenever any change in behavior pattern of any system, the effectors bring back normalcy either by inhibiting and reversing the change or by supporting and accelerating the change by depending on the situation. Depending on the situation, you can normalize your situation with the help of inhibiting or supporting or reversing the change. It's all depending on the situation. This is achieved by the means of feedback signals or control system. Homeostatic mechanism occurs by the three types. First is negative feedback control system, second is positive feedback control system, and third is the feed forward control system. And each feedback control system we will discuss in detail. First is negative feedback mechanism. How this occurs? This occurs with the negative feedback control system reacts to arrest the change or reverse the direction of change in homeostasis. How? These are the steps for this, after receiving the message, effectors send negative feedback signals back to the control center, and control center modifies the commands and attempts to maintain the homeostasis. Many homeostatic mechanisms in the body function through negative feedback. There are so many types of mechanisms occur with the help of negative feedback. Here are examples: secretion of thyroxine, maintenance of water balance, thermoregulation, and blood glucose level. These are the 4 examples. First, we will see the secretion of the thyroxine. First, there is Two conditions can be there: decrease in thyroxine secretion or increase in thyroxine secretion. Both. Any situation can occur. First, if there is decrease in thyroxine secretion, then there is stimulation of TCH secretion and increase the thyroxine secretion and then normal the thyroxine levels. And if increased thyroxine secretion, then inhibit the TCH secretion and decrease the thyroxine secretion. It is the negative feedback mechanism. We will TCH, what is that? TCH is thyroid stimulating hormone from the pituitary gland. Next example is the maintenance of water balance. We will discuss. You can clear your concept from negative feedback mechanism that the thyroid stimulating hormone released from anterior pituitary for the secretion of thyroxine, and when thyroxine level increases in the blood, it inhibits the secretion of the thyroid stimulating hormone TSH. Then thyroxine production will decrease. How it is negatively fixed? When thyroxine levels less in the blood, its low blood level induces the pituitary gland to release TSH. Now TSH stimulates the thyroid gland to secrete the thyroxine. And second example is the water balance maintenance. Here it is the big flowchart. In physiology, flowchart is more important than the theory. You can earn more marks than compared to other students with the simple and very neat flowcharts. Here, if there is decrease in water retention, increase the water content in our body, then stimulation of osmoreceptors is not occur, means no thirst, and then decrease in ADH secretion from the posterior pituitary gland. Hence, decrease in water intake and decrease water retention by kidneys, and finally normal the water content. And if there is decrease in water content of our body, then stimulation of osmoreceptors in hypothalamus that occurs thirst, and increase in water content if we drink the water, and in that occurs the increased ADH secretion from posterior pituitary, increased water retention by kidneys, and finally normal water content in our body. This is so simple flowchart. It is a normal water content. Here is one condition that increase the water content, and here is decrease the water content. Finally, how it's normalized. Next is thermoregulation. Here is our body. If body temperature rises, blood vessels dilate, heat loss occurs, sweat glands secrete fluid, and fluid evaporates, heat loss from the body, and then normal the body temperature. If there is body temperature fall from our body, blood vessels constrict, so heat conserved, sweat not secrete, and shivering effect is occur, generation of heat, and that heat is retained, and normal body temperature is fixed. It is also simple flowchart. Fourth one is the blood glucose regulation. How it occur? Here, blood glucose concentration at set point. Here is two conditions: increase the blood glucose level and decrease the blood glucose levels. If decrease, then change in detected by cells in pancreas, and pancreas releases less insulin and more glucagon into blood. You already know the functions of insulin and glucagon. Glucagon increase in blood, that liver cells release more glucose into blood, and increase in blood glucose level, that is the blood glucose normalized. If there is increase in blood glucose level, change detected by cells in pancreas, and here pancreas releases more insulin and less glucagon into blood. And finally, insulin remove more glucose from the blood and store it. And finally, decrease in blood glucose level, and blood glucose level is normalized. Then we will see the another mechanism, that the positive feedback mechanism. Positive feedback control system reacts in the increase the intensity of the change in the same direction. Negative feedback have negative direction, and here is the same direction effect is seen here. Positive feedback mechanism is less common than negative feedback. Here are so less examples than compared to negative feedback mechanism, and it has significance particularly during emergency conditions. Here are the examples, that the blood clotting necessary to arrest bleeding during injury, and it occurs in 3 stages. It is also characterized by the emergency conditions. First is blood clotting. It is occurred by the formation of prothrombin activator. Second is conversion of prothrombin into thrombin, and then its conversion of the fibrinogen into fibrin. Thrombin formed in second stage stimulates the formation of more prothrombin activator in addition to converting the fibrinogen into fibrin. It causes the formation of more and more prothrombin activators, so that process accelerated and blood loss prevented quickly, because it is the sudden reaction. Here is the flow chart for this. Here is injury to blood vessels and bleeding is occurred. Then formation of prothrombin activator that accelerates the conversion of prothrombin into thrombin, and thrombin is indirectly activates the prothrombin activator, and then the conversion of the fibrinogen into fibrin, and that leads to stoppage of the bleeding. Here this process is accelerating this process. This is the example of the positive feedback mechanism. Second is the parturition and milk ejection reflex. Onset of labor, there is a contraction of uterus and movement of fetus into cervix, that leads to movement of fetus through cervix, and then stimulation of receptors of cervix that discharge the impulses from the receptors, and transmission of impulse to the hypothalamus. Then hypothalamus release the oxytocin hormone from the hypothalamus, that lead to positive feedback on the contraction of the uterus. It is the accelerated the parturition, and it is the example of the positive feedback mechanism. Next, third mechanism is the feed forward control system. That is, feed forward control system anticipates the change or deviation that may occur in later stage and takes appropriate control action to avoid disturbance. Detect deviation only when it happens. Feedback systems. Its examples are the pre-adaptation before onset of exercise, such as changes in cardiovascular system in order to prepare the body for exercise, and secretion of gastric juice along with salivary secretion even before entrance of food in mouth. Third one is increase in secretion of LH prior to ovulation. It is fixes itself after some time. Here is the all about the homeostasis. If you like it, share, like and subscribe, and comment for next topic. Thank you.